All right, hello again. Okay, so this video is to talk to you guys about making a histogram. A histogram is very similar to a bar graph when you see it. I'm going to write that down, similar to bar graph. But when you look at how my data is laid out here, I've got like different age ranges, and like this, maybe I say my question from my project from last week was, how old are you? And instead of just writing all my numbers out, I grouped my numbers into certain categories, like 10 to 19. I grouped them together, and frequency means how many people fell into that category, like how many people answered that they were 10 to 19 years of age. Same with here. 11 people said that they were between 20 bless me, and 29. So frequency means how many people. And again, you notice that I didn't just list them all out in a big list like I did with the last set of data. This time I have like groups of numbers together. All right, so I said this is very similar to a bar graph. So what I'm going to do for this is I am going to set up kind of like a bar graph, a little like mini graphing kind of table. So I'm going to have a bar on the side here. This will tell me my frequency, meaning like how many people answered that. And then across the bottom, I'm going to have my different categories. Okay? So on the bottom is always going to be these age or whatever categories you have. So again, categories meaning when you grouped the different numbers together. So I would have on the bottom here like a 10 to 19, and then I'd have 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, and 50 to 59. Okay, now on the side here, I need to come up with some sort of a scale that makes sure that I get all of these numbers accounted for. So maybe I wanted to count by twos, maybe I wanted to count by fives, whatever numbers you guys want to count by. It doesn't matter as long as you have them evenly spaced out. So let's say I'm going to count by fives. I'm going to kind of spread it out a bit. So I'm going to actually skip a couple lines. I'm going to do like this line is 5, this line is 10, and this line is 15. Okay? All right, so now a histogram, similar to a bar graph, I'm going to make bars for each of the categories that I had. And the bar is going to be however tall depending on the frequency. So my 10 to 19 bar, 16 people fell into that category. So I would make a bar that goes up, and notice how my, like when I numbered it, I went to 15, but obviously 16 is a little bit higher, so I went just a little bit above that. All right, then the next one. And when you make this, you can have the bars touching if you want. You can keep them separate. It's really up to you. So 20 to 29 had 11. So again, I'm going to make a bar that goes up a little bit past that 10 mark. 30 to 39, I'm going to go to the number 5. 40 to 49 only had 2. So again, I'm just estimating here, but when you make yours, you can definitely change it up if you want. And you can have like more numbers along the side if you'd like. So I'm going to say the number 2 is about like right there. And then I've got the number 4, so a little bit taller. All right. That's it. That's a histogram. Usually it's going to give you these ranges for you to already have as categories. If it doesn't, you get to make your own. But once you have your categories and how many are in here, then you just set up your bar graph and your ranges are on the bottom. So I could also make sure to label this. So these would be age along the bottom and then frequency along the side. And remember, that word frequency just is a fancy word for how many. So I'm talking about how many fall into that category. All right, so on your work today, you've got, I believe, 2 practice problems where you have a table already set up for you, and you're going to make a histogram. Good luck.